look out. Look at the view. Look at this amazing view of Florida from this vantage point that many do not get physically standing up. They might get it from a plane or they might get it from a building, but they're not outside feeling God's wind on their face and feeling the warmth of the sun and feeling the power of nature and the wind. I thought, oh, that's all well and good, angels, but you guys aren't afraid of heights. So I'm going to just hold on to this railing a little tighter. But I finally started to release my grip. And eventually I started to walk around. And eventually I took pictures. And eventually I lost my breath a few times, but not because of anxiety, but because I was overwhelmed in the moment that I had accomplished it, but more of what I was seeing. And that I would have never had a view like that if I hadn't pushed past my fear and pushed past my own nonsense and drama in order to inhabit an experience that no one could give me. That is what feeling the fear and doing it anyway is about. Was I scared? Yeah. Was I overwhelmed and come to emotion when I was up there? I was. Quietly, I stood there and I thought, wow, I did it. And to you guys listening, it may just be a climb up a lighthouse, no big deal. Maybe you're not scared of heights like me, but for me, it was everything. It was the beginning of this year where I jumped into this show. It was the beginning of the year where I have some new endeavors that I can't wait to share with you that are coming up, where I'm feeling my fear about my creativity, about putting myself out there, and I'm doing it anyway. And I'm not saying that to laud myself. I'm saying it because I'm human, like you, and I'm scared, like you. And I think, can I go forward like you? And I wonder if the angels, God, the universe is going to support me and have my back, even though every day I talk to clients and I teach them how to harness their own energy and get a hold of their fear and not to let it immobilize them. And the thing about being a teacher sometimes is you're taught, and I'm often taught these lessons of how to be bigger than the person that I can be, bigger than the person that I am sometimes, how to stretch myself and to be open-minded and to go into something that feels uncomfortable. I'm so grateful for my better angels that whispered to me that day, that took me all the way up those stairs and that soothed me as I stood there in the open air at 13 miles an hour, 13 stories up. I'm not exactly sure, 13 to 14 stories up. And I conquered my fear because it set the tone for this year where I'm diving into new things. And that's what feeling the fear and doing it anyway can do for you. Set the tone for yourself in every little moment. When you're on your cliff, know that it's not going to be comfortable. I was not comfortable. Let me emphasize that. No comfort did I have in that moment. I was tired. I was sweaty. I was hot. I was scared. That's a lot of things to be in an hour, but I was all of them in an hour. I cried. I laughed. I was elated. I rejoiced. I was praising when I got up there, like, thank you, Jesus. I made it, Lord. Just keep me up here and keep me from pitching over the side. It was so funny. A guy came and stood next to me. He wanted to see the same vantage point that I had from the area I was standing in. He wanted to take a picture. And I was so upset. This is what fear does. And irrational fear again. I thought, he's standing too close to me. Clearly, he could push me off. Clearly, his whole intention is to stand too close to me and not move, and he wants to push me off. That's what fear is. It's crazy. It's crazy making. And as I see our country and our people whipped up into this fear, as they have been for years, that's how we stop moving forward. That's how progress doesn't happen. It's not about who's at the top. It's about who's in here with us in the trenches. We have to feel our fear and our worry and our concern. And if we have to think about it, or if we have to petition or protest, or if we have to agree, whatever our stance is, we have to move forward. Life doesn't stop. There's a train of people behind you that need to get to someplace else. And that's how we've moved our country forward. And that's how we're going to move ourselves forward. So the next time you're on your cliff, feel that fear and do it anyway. I promise you, you will be better for it. You will be a better person for it. And the legacy that you leave will be enhanced for it. Be an example to yourself first, and then to those around you, without even trying, by feeling your fear and doing it anyway. And now, it's time for a little bit of Gabriel's Gab. So, Gabriel's Gab, we're going to get into it. Okay, there it is, Gabriel's Gab. This week, I wanted to take a few minutes to do a more extensive reading, a reading for healing, a reading for rebuilding, a reading for coming together. I think that's what's called for right now. Again, I can reiterate, I do not care what side you fall down on. I want us to rebuild. I want us to come back together and be the people that I know. And so I want to see, what does Gabriel have to say about that? So I'm going to do a little shuffling and a little tapping into my intuition, and we're going to find out what this week has in store for us. All right. The first thing that comes up is gratitude. That's so fascinating to me because there is a program that I'll be talking to you guys about by Vilma Rogers called Your Handwriting Can Change Your Life. And in it, you go through the alphabet. And I know this sounds very elementary, but she teaches you how to rewrite your alphabet. And the principle behind it is about changing the way your brain patterns work, changing the way your synapses fire. And the letter and the emotion for the letter G is I am grateful. Everything in my life is a gift. Everything. Think about that. Everything in my life is a gift. And what you do is you write that sentence and then you write the letter G and continue to write it, and you are rewiring your brain patterns to really live in the greatness of gratitude in the letter G. Everything in my life is a gift. Everything. Gratitude is the card that comes up this week. Very interesting because this is a moment where a lot of us are not necessarily feeling grateful. Some of us might be, but some of us are not feeling grateful. We think, what is there to be grateful for? Did you see what happened? How can I be grateful for this? Everything in our life is a gift. Everything. There have been moments in my life where I've had things happen to me that were calamitous, and I have sat down at my writing desk where I meditate and tune in, and I have written this letter G repeatedly to the chagrin of people around me who often think, what are you doing now, Monette? What self-help thing are you getting into now? But that self-help thing that I was getting into is the best thing to get into, and it's not about the writing, it's about the gratitude. That is the way to instantly shift your energy. And man, oh man, do we not need a shift right now of our energy? Are you grateful that you live in a country that is free, no matter what it feels like currently? Are you grateful that you have your family around you? Are you grateful that you're working at your job today, that you're earning a living, that you're putting food on the table? Are you grateful that you have people that love you? Everything in your life is a gift. That's all the good stuff. Are you grateful for that tire that blew this morning that had you be 15 minutes too late but helped you miss the accident that you would have headed into had you not had been late with a broken or a blown out tire? Are you grateful for the lady in the line at the Starbucks who spilled her coffee on your shoe and it made you have to stop a minute and look up at that stranger who you connected with that you might begin a relationship with? These things don't always seem like they're fun things. They take us out of ourselves. They shift our energy. But I am grateful. Everything in life is a gift. Every moment we breathe, every chance we get, every new opportunity we have to become something different than the people that we were, that is a gift. And I love that the angels have tapped into this moment as I knew they would. Gratitude is where we need to be at. Whether you agree or not, everything is a gift. Even the outcome of this election, believe it or not, it shifts things for us. It helps us have a new perspective. Whether you agree or not, it is a gift. Just wait. This word will not come back void. It will unfold in a way that helps move us into the America we want to be. Whether you think so or not, whether you think you know who I agree with or not, understand that everything happens for a reason. I prayed about it afterwards. I had to get into my space so funnily enough. I had to get into a space and write out this thing the morning after. And I said, angels, I don't understand. I don't understand. And they flashed me my favorite number, 777, just on the screen. I happened to look up on the TV and there it was. 777, which is about synchronicity, about absolute help from ascended masters, about knowing that everything is working out exactly how it should. I didn't understand that. I talked to my dear friend about it. I said, why did I see that number? Normally I wouldn't question it. I know that it's just a harbinger of fantastic things to come. I don't feel like fantastic things are coming. But they said, As you're writing this, everything in your life is a gift. Everything. And so today, guys, be grateful for the things you have. Be grateful for the things you feel like you don't have or the things you feel like you're losing, because it will be worked out. I do not know how, but I am sure that gratitude is a state that we should be in. The next card is pride. Wow. And I'm proud to be an American. Okay, because I can't sing, but I am proud. And that's what this whole reading was about today, or this whole lesson was about, is having pride in ourselves and in our country. I know right now it's so funny. Wow. It's so amazing how this happens. I know right now it may not feel like a moment to be proud of, or for some, it feels like a moment that they're beaming with pride. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. We all are having emotions. But the thing to remember here is that we have to not just have pride, but we have to be easy about how we receive all this information this week. So knowing that there is something to be proud of, even if you don't agree with everything happening, is a great place to be. And then the next card is join in. Well, I think that our angels are very patriotic this week. I was talking to a client last night, actually, and she was telling me that she is going to the Million Woman March. That's going to be happening in the next few months, I believe, at the mall in Washington. And I've been there before for other things when I was younger. However, she was like, are you going? My family's going. She's joining in to a cause she believes in. There are people that will be joining in, and there are people that voted in our new president-elect that joined together and banded together and join in. That is part of the American tradition. We take part, we proclaim or we protest. No matter what side you're in, kind of get out of yourself and get part of something to feel that unity again, become part of something, no matter what side you're on, and understand that it's your voices that will be heard. I was happy for my client because she's 68 years old and she's a whippersnapper, to be sure, feisty and fun. And she was so excited about strapping on her tennis shoes and joining in. She was in the protests in the 60s. She protested for civil rights. And she said, I don't know what happened. She called me to talk about the election. She wanted to pay me to talk about the election. And so we talked. And she wrapped it up with that. And I thought, look at her indomitable spirit. She is still fighting for what she believes in, just like other clients of mine fought for the other thing. I remain impartial as that professional who deals with them, but I heard her and my spirit soared, not just about her partisan views, but because she was joining in the great American tradition. That's what we do. Join in, no matter how we feel. So this week, that's something to remember. You have a responsibility to take part in our process. You have a responsibility to take part in our democratic process. No matter the outcome, we are here. We are family. This is our nation under God. We don't leave when it gets tough. We stick and stay. We figure things out. We figure out how to make it better. And that's what I challenge you to this week, as well as the angels challenge you to. Join in. You don't like it, change it. If you do like it, help it stay the way you want it to be. The people with the loudest voices usually get their point across. Be the person with the louder voice. I'm so glad that you joined me this week. I'm so glad that you've exchanged energy with me and that we got a chance to kind of heal and pick up a little bit from a very hard fought season in our country. We are good. We are getting better. Don't believe what it looks like. Believe what you know about our principles. We will evolve together. Everything that happened is about our evolution. We only go forward in America. Believe it or not, we only go forward. If you're interested in having a reading with me, a radiant angel reading of energy, or a rare reading as I call them, you can contact me at 321-216-5747. I want to thank you again for joining me this week on Evolve. I've been your host, Monette Brann-Natta. Didn't get that in at the first part of the show, but I'm so happy that you're here. Come back next week as we continue to evolve together.